Women constantly test men, sometimes instinctively and sometimes to manipulate. If you have ever felt frustrated or like you are walking on eggshells, chances are you have been tested, perhaps even without realizing it. However, once you understand these 10 manipulation tactics, you will know exactly how to respond, stay in control, and never fall into these traps again. If you're new to my channel, my name is Anna Jorgensen. I help good men like you decode modern women so you can find, attract, and keep your keeper. Welcome to Just the Tip. Psychologically, we all have a wounded inner child within us, and when someone touches on our unhealed childhood trauma with something they say or do, it can trigger deep emotional wounds, even if we don't inwardly understand it or outwardly show it. In other words, we all have the capacity to act childish. In deep, intimate relationships, unhealed emotional wounds are bound to get triggered. The good news, well, if you can shift into grounded adult state, you have the opportunity to heal not just yourself, but often others as well. Key point, a person's reaction to a trigger often reflects the emotional and psychological age he or she is in at that moment. What does this have to do with women's manipulation tactics, you ask? Well, understanding your and your lady's childhood wounds makes triggers much easier to navigate so you don't give up on each other if you truly are meant to be together. For example, if raising her voice reminds you of an overbearing or abusive mother when you were 5, you may emotionally regress to that age when she raises her voice even slightly. Women also have triggers. Now, this isn't the time to expect adult reasoning. It's the time to be gentle. Of course, this becomes tricky if both of your triggers are set off at the same time. Let's explore. So, women's manipulation and control tactics. Many of you have experienced number 8, but let's start with number 1, withholding sex, using physical intimacy as leverage. We have talked about this before, but sex is one of the most common and significant ways women can influence men, and some women do use it as a tool for control. Instead of resolving conflicts maturely, they withhold intimacy to train you into submission. Example, when you disagree about something, instead of talking it out maturely, she suddenly isn't in the mood for days, or until you submit. Over time, you start avoiding conflict to keep the peace and tell yourself, happy wife, happy life. Like a child throwing a silent tantrum, she may feel victorious when you give in, but inside she's losing respect for you and you are losing respect for yourself. Key point, women have a lower threshold for handling stress than men do. Women are biologically wired to short circuit sooner under similarly stressful circumstances. Try saying that 3 times fast. And when a woman is stressed, her libido goes into hibernation mode. Seems like a double-edged sword, doesn't it? Well, how to handle it? Never let intimacy become a reward system. If your woman weaponizes sex, calmly call it out. I don't play games. If there's an issue, let's talk about it like adults. What's really bothering you? Notice the tone. If she's already triggered, she may go on the defensive or offensive. If that happens, you may need to treat her like a child who is hurt, confused, or afraid until she can get back into adult mode. In the meantime, do not give in to her stated or silent demands. What happens when you let a child get away with bad behavior? Right, they do it again, maybe even testing your boundaries further. If she only dangles sex as a reward, she's training you, not loving you. If direct communication has failed and you don't want to leave because of kids or finances or whatever, temporarily pulling back can sometimes force a shift. People often mirror behavior unconsciously. If she notices you stop investing as much, it may wake her up to the problem. This should be a last resort and not a standard mode of operation because a relationship built on silent standoffs won't last. Communicate, don't counter manipulate. If she only responds to tit for tat, that's a red flag that you are dealing with control issues, not love. A woman who loves and respects you won't consciously use sex as a bargaining chip. But if she's legit stressed, you'll need to work through that before she'll be physically and psychologically able to be intimate with you, especially physically. How handling this situation well benefits men regardless of women. Learning to set and enforce personal boundaries fosters self-respect and ensures relationships are based on mutual care, not transactional dynamics. Just the tip. Look for a woman who doesn't use sex as a weapon. If she's turned off, she lets you know she desires you, but needs some time to process her emotions. Bonus point if she lets you help her with that. Hashtag keeper. Okay, so I know that one was intense, but let's get through the rest of these a bit faster. Number 2. Keeping you in limbo, the I don't know what I want game. Well, a woman who doesn't want a relationship with you, but doesn't want you seeing other women, may keep you as a backup plan. Example, she says she's not ready for a relationship right now, but gets upset when you talk to other women. She wants control without commitment. How to handle it? Call her bluff. That's fine, but I'm looking for something real with someone who is right for me. If you're unsure, that someone is probably not you, and I need to move on. Never let a woman waste your time. However, if you have anxious attachment style and a tendency to rush into relationships because you fear abandonment and need to lock her down stat, that's something you need to reflect on. If you're moving too fast, it's reasonable to expect she'll pump the brakes and you won't be pumping. Well, anyways, let's move on. Time is your most valuable resource. If she's unreasonably dragging her feet, give yourself a deadline. If she hasn't made a clear decision, by then, whatever it is, walk away. Leaving on your own terms helps you reclaim your self-respect. How handling this situation well benefits men regardless of women. Valuing your own time and emotional investment helps you avoid toxic relationships and focus on genuine connections, improving your overall confidence. Just the tip, if you know the person you're dating is not the one, let them go. Stringing someone along isn't just a bitch move, it's blocking your own shot at being with your right person. Do both of you a favor and release them. However, if you actually like this person, but they are moving too fast, be honest. Maybe you have an avoidant attachment style, in which case work together to find a pace that doesn't send you into fight and flight mode. For clarity on what women need based on biology and science, watch What Women Really Want: Sex, Desire, and Relationships. 3. Guilt tripping, emotional blackmail at its finest. Some women are experts at making you feel bad for things that aren't your fault. She can control your behavior if she can make you feel responsible for her emotions. Now, to be fair, everyone is capable of doing this, even men. Example, you tell her you're busy and she sighs dramatically saying, "It's fine, I'll be alone like always." You feel bad, so you start rearranging your priorities for her. How to handle it. Recognize manipulation when you see it. Respond with, I care about you and I also have things I need to do. Let's plan a time that works for both of us. Never let guilt dictate your actions. If she continues trying to manipulate you, ask, are you trying to make me feel guilty for having other commitments? Most manipulators crumble when called out. If she dodges, change the subject or walk away. Now, of course, no one is perfect, so if you value this woman and this isn't an ongoing pattern, treat her like a child, a scared, confused child. Before you balk at that, trust that there will be times you will also act like your inner wounded child as well. How handling this situation well benefits men regardless of women. Recognizing manipulation enables you to make decisions based on logic and self-respect rather than guilt, reducing stress and increasing independence. Just the tip. Emotional blackmail is not a healthy way to get what you want in any relationship. Don't do it. Full stop. 4. Silent treatment, psychological warfare. Now, women know that men hate emotional distance because it often leads to sexual distance. So, when women want to control, they might withhold affection and communication, making you desperate to fix things, even if it's not your fault. Now, although this tactic is likely used more often by women, some men also use it. Example, you say something she doesn't like, and suddenly she stops texting, giving you short replies, or ignores you completely. You end up panicking and wondering what you did wrong. How to handle it. Don't engage. Give her space to come to you and keep living your life. If she values the relationship, she'll come back and communicate. If not, you just saved yourself a whole lot of trouble. Never reward bad behavior. How handling this situation well benefits men regardless of any woman. Developing emotional resilience and the ability to maintain composure in the face of passive aggressiveness strengthens your mental stability and self-assurance. The silent treatment and stonewalling are one of the 4 horsemen of the relationship apocalypse, along with defensiveness, criticism, and contempt, and puts your relationship on a path to certain doom. Just the tip. If you can't find the right words to describe your emotions and needs, describe the physiological sensations you feel, like my chest feels tight or my breathing is quick and shallow. That offers your partner at least something. 5 shit tests. Probing for weakness. Okay, so women are masters at testing men's confidence by challenging them in subtle and not so subtle ways. Your responses tell her whether you're genuinely confident or just pretending. Now, there are logical reasons why women test men, which is too much to explain here, but I have a whole playlist on that topic. Side note, explaining isn't condoning. I'm the decoder, not the creator. Okay, so example, you mention you like working out and she smirks and says, "Oh, so you're one of those gym bros." Now, if you get defensive or start explaining yourself, fail. How to handle it. Stay unbothered. Laugh it off. Darn right I am. Confidence is key. Never justify or explain yourself. Own it. Master the amused one eyebrow raised, aren't you cute expression. Instead of getting defensive, smirk and play along. If she says, "Why do you wear that shirt?" respond with, "So you will have something to talk about, little lady." Unshakable confidence wins every time. You might want to watch How to Develop True Confidence with Women. You are the prize. Okay, how handling this situation well benefits men regardless of women. Learning to remain calm under pressure builds unshakable confidence that benefits all aspects of your life, from family dynamics to business negotiations. Just the tip. Welcome her tests. Tests mean she cares. She wouldn't bother if she wasn't consciously or subconsciously looking for long-term potential in you. 6, drama creation, stirring chaos for control. Now, some women create drama because they haven't figured out how to create healthy stimulus in their own lives. And some women stir up chaos to see how you react, or because they are emotionally damaged. Now, she knows she controls your emotions if you apologize for things that are not your fault or you engage in unnecessary fights. Example, everything is fine. Then suddenly she picks a fight over something ridiculous, like a joke you made weeks ago. She may be projecting or misdirecting her anger, or she may be testing your emotional stability. Either way, how to handle it. Stay calm and say, "We don't need to argue over this. If something is bothering you, let's talk about it like adults." Now, if she insists on chaos, disengage. Say, "Let me know when you're ready to have a real conversation." And then you walk away. Literally, drama dies without an audience. How handling this situation well benefits men regardless of women. Mastering conflict resolution and emotional control helps you maintain peace in all relationships and avoid unnecessary stress and emotional turmoil. Just the tip. Sometimes humor can release tension, but there's no way of knowing what will work in every situation. You might want to watch my video, How to Handle Conflict with an Angry Woman to Best Diffuse a Situation Without Simping. Number 7, comparing you to other men. Subtle psychological undermining. Women use comparison to make you doubt yourself and seek their approval. Example. She casually says, "My ex used to plan the best dates," or "Wow, look how ambitious Chad is." Sorry. She's subtly causing you to feel you're subpar. How to handle it? Don't take the bait. Respond with, "Good for him." If she keeps doing it, set a boundary. "You know what? I don't entertain comparison. Would you want me to compare you to other women who I think are better than you in some way? If I'm not enough for you, you're free to go. Otherwise, if you want something specific from me, ask." Ooh. If she does it again, call her out casually. "You know what? It sounds like you would rather be with him. Want me to introduce you?" When you show that you don't need her validation, you automatically raise your value. How handling this situation well benefits men regardless of women. So cultivating self-worth based on internal validation rather than external approval makes you immune to manipulation and attractive in all social settings. Hashtag know your worth. Just the tip. Never compare your mate to others unless it's someone of the same sex they admire, and only if it makes them look better in comparison. That's for men and women. Number 8. The victim card. Never taking responsibility. This is so common. Many women struggle with accountability and will change the narrative to make you the bad guy even when you're not in the wrong. Example, she insults you, and when you respectfully call her out, she starts crying and says, "I was only joking, you're so mean." Instead of addressing her disrespect, you comfort her. Is she a scared child or a manipulation master? How to handle it? Stay calm and focus on the real issue, saying something like, "This isn't about me being mean. This is about what you said. Let's talk about that." Never let emotions distract you from facts. If she always seems to be in crisis mode, you can say, "You know what? You're smart. I trust you'll figure it out." If she refuses to take responsibility, she's not looking for help. She's looking to control. Just the tip. Some women play the victim card to manipulate you into taking care of them. Even if it's not intentional, it's still emotional outsourcing. If she constantly shifts responsibility onto you without taking action herself, she's looking for a crutch and needs you to be the parent in the relationship. Only you can decide if that's what you want to do. Also, watch this video. Make women great again. How handling this situation well benefits men regardless of any woman. Recognizing when people avoid accountability teaches you to maintain high personal standards and only invest in mutually respectful relationships. Number 9, testing your boundaries, seeing what you will tolerate. Women push small boundaries to see what they can get away with, to see if you will stand up for yourself. If you let things slide, they will keep escalating. We teach people how to treat us by what we allow. Example, she interrupts you constantly, flakes on your plans, or maybe mocks something vital to you even after, or especially after, you've mentioned more than once you dislike those things or what she says. Now, if you tolerate that, she knows you're weak. How to handle it? Address it immediately. "I need you to make some changes for me." Women respect men with firm boundaries. Instead of simply stating your boundary, use natural consequences. For example, if she keeps flaking on plans, stop making plans with her. If she interrupts you constantly, pause, look her in the eye and say, "I'll wait until you're done." Actions are more powerful than words. If she's ADHD, give her some grace. Now, how handling this situation well benefits men regardless of women. Learning to set and enforce boundaries is crucial in all areas of life. Work, friendships, family. If you don't tolerate disrespect in a relationship, you won't tolerate it from a boss, a coworker, or a so-called friend who tries to take advantage of you. Just the tip. Changing habits takes time. So gentle reminders will be necessary for a while. If you've communicated your boundaries clearly and respectfully, slip-ups should come with an apology. If she keeps crossing the line without acknowledging it, she's showing you she doesn't respect you at all. Now, just before I reveal number 10, another very common tactic women use to manipulate, test, or even control men. If you have found value in this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And thank you so much if you already have. Okay, number 10, playing dumb, avoiding accountability. Women are not stupid when it comes to manipulation tactics, but they will often act like they don't understand something if it helps them avoid accountability. Example, she flirts with other guys, and when you confront her, she says, "What? I was just being friendly or bubbly. You're overreacting." Now, that is called gaslighting. She is trying to get you to doubt yourself. Trust your gut. How to handle it? Stay grounded, maintain your frame, and say something like, "We both know what's going on, let's be honest." If she keeps dodging accountability, walk away. If she digs her heels in, you could say, "So, if the situation was reversed, you'd be okay with it?" If she stubbornly says yes, even if it's a lie, you can say, "Well, in that case, our values don't line up and this relationship won't work for me." Ooh. How handling this situation well benefits men regardless of women. Recognizing manipulation helps in every aspect of your life, from negotiations, in business dealings, to spotting fake friends. People who dodge responsibility often do so in subtle ways, so calling it out calmly and graciously keeps you from being played in any situation. Just the tip. If one of you is okay with flirting while the other isn't, your values may not align, and trust and emotional safety may always be an issue. So in summary, women have mastered psychological manipulation because it works. Reminder, explaining is not condoning. If you are blind to it, you will keep getting played, controlled, and tested endlessly. Key point. Even if she's consciously unaware she's manipulating or testing you, if you let her act like a badly behaved child, she'll continue to push your boundaries and lose respect for you along the way. Scratch my nose. And what's worse is you will lose respect for yourself. But now you know what to do. Never justify yourself. Don't fall for guilt trips. Call out disrespect, stat, and stop chasing. Also, look for a woman who sincerely wants to be with you and shows it by working on what's not working for her. Her legit flaws she should work on. The moment a woman realizes she can't control you, even if she's not the right one for you, her respect for you shoots up. More importantly, so does your self-respect. Now the question is, will you be the man who gets played, or will you change the narrative? So which of these manipulation techniques will you put a stop to today? Now remember, you were never taught this, so give yourself grace. We all have bad habits and unhealed wounds, and sometimes those wounds make us self-sabotage a potentially good thing. To make sure you're not walking away from an actual keeper, watch my videos coming up. She acts like a child, treat her like a child, and how to handle conflict with an angry woman. Or anyone. Love is the answer, and it begins with self-love rooted in self-respect. You got this. I believe in you. Thank you so much for being here. God bless.